Hey everyone, you're listening to the Simply Smarter podcast. Our goal is to help families navigate some of the areas surrounding the college prep process, which includes providing college and ACT related advice, not just for students, but their families as well. This is my co-host, Caleb.
Listen each week to find out how students can score better on college placement tests, learning techniques and methods that build confidence, beat test anxiety, and identify strengths within each student.
Don't forget to stay in the know by subscribing to our podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Simply Smarter podcast. I've got an exciting guest today. I'm really excited to share with you guys. So hopefully you can get her take on some different things, and we'll get right into it. So welcome, Meredith.
Hi.
Hello, we have Meredith Vaughn with us. So she actually went through Get Smarter Prep a couple years ago and had some success there. And now she works with us. So she is a Standard-Level Tutor in Leawood.
Yes.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's been fun so far. I've really enjoyed it.
Good. Well, we are really lucky to have you. But let's kind of get into it. I want to talk a little bit about your history, where you went to school, your high school experience, your extracurriculars, etc. So tell us where you went to school and how that was.
Yeah, so I went to Blue Valley North High School. It was super fun. I think everyone thinks that their high school is the best, but
yeah.
I liked it a lot.
It really was.
Yeah. And extracurriculars, I played soccer all 4 years. I did cross country 1 year, which was fun. I don't know. I'm not a runner, I found out.
I was just going to ask, are you a natural runner?
Definitely not at all, actually.
Yeah.
But it was a good experience.
Yes.
And
good for you for sticking with it then.
Thanks. Yeah, finish the season.
Yes, good.
And then I did yearbook 3 years because you can't do it freshman year. And that was super fun. I was the people section editor.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah, that's the best right there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get to go around and ask questions and interview people?
Yeah, I got to do all the polls and the little sidebars. It was so good.
Fun.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then other extracurriculars, I was in a math. They was called Lady Mustang's Mathletes Club.
Yes.
And we tutored little elementary schoolers and helped out in other math classes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was super fun.
Cool. So when you went to the elementary schools, was it a certain grade level that you helped teach, or who was it?
It was actually eighth graders, which was, well, it was supposed to be elementary schoolers and then it was middle schoolers. But yeah, it was virtual and I tutored an eighth grader in math and it was interesting. It was difficult, I think, because it was over Zoom, COVID.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm sure it was over COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so were you a junior then or a senior? I
was a junior.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it was a good experience. I realized very quickly that you have to keep them engaged.
Specifically, yes. And especially eighth graders.
Yeah. Especially eighth graders in math when they don't want to be doing it at all.
Right.
And I think their parents probably signed them up. But
yeah.
I don't know. It was cool to see.
I'm sure they learned a lot.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's always nice to have a tutor in math, especially if you're struggling a little bit. And it just, you just break it down and you connect with them. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you were able to do that.
Yeah, that was fun.
What else? What else were you involved in?
I don't even know. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
So long ago.
Right. So long ago.
Whole year. I was in all of the NHSs, did all of the community service stuff for that. I was in journalism NHS, which was super fun. We went to a convention at KU.
Oh, cool.
I was in the cut line writing convention or cut line writing competition.
Yeah.
So I did that. I went to state, but that was also nice. COVID year. So it was online again for the state, which was upsetting. But
yeah. So many different experiences that get cut short, right? Especially you being a junior and senior going through all of that. That's kind of tough.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was I don't know. I feel there's a gap in those 2.5 years.
Yeah,
where it's didn't exist.
Right. So when you graduated, what was that experience like?
Oh, I mean,
through COVID.
Graduation wasn't through COVID. It was over.
Was it normal? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Good.
So that was really good, actually. I was nervous that it would follow me like into college too. And it was like done by then. So I was very glad.
Oh man. I always felt bad for the seniors who had to graduate during COVID, and just their experience was just not a non-experience almost. Like you obviously want to celebrate and have different get-togethers, especially with like family and friends, and it was just not very possible. So good. Okay, well, awesome. So then you did all the extracurriculars and then went through Get Smarter Prep.
Yes.
And started with a 33.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my pre-test.
Awesome. Not smart at all. Goodness. That's so good. And then what was your goal score then?
They made us set our goal scores without knowing our pre-test scores.
Okay.
So I was going off of my pre-ACT score, which was a 29.
Nice.
And so I set my goal score as a 31.
31. And then you took the pre-test here, the practice test here.
Yes.
And you actually scored a 33. Uh-huh. Okay. So you're like, well, that's nice for me.
Yeah. They asked me what my goal score was after that. And I was like, 33.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you thought, well, if I already have a 33, let's shoot for something higher.
I guess. I don't know. I was just happy with the 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And then tell us about your experience at Get Smarter Prep. You did a 6-hour Premier Level tutorial with Caleb.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It was pretty short, but I thought it was like so fun, which I'm guessing probably isn't the like normal reaction.
I think when you're at that level though, like, and you're super invested in it, and you know Caleb on a personal level too, as a neighbor. So, he always is so great as a tutor. So I think it's just a different experience as well. So I love that you really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, it was so fun. That was peak COVID. Mm-hmm. And because of that, our teachers like took away homework requirements, which I thought was kind of weird.
So weird.
Yeah. So I like wasn't doing any of my homework, but I would do that homework. I was excited to do that homework.
Yeah. Well, you're probably looking for something to do at that point.
Yeah.
You wanted to continue learning, and that's amazing. So then you got a 35. How excited were you?
Very excited. I think my parents were the most excited.
Yes.
But yeah, that was like crazy. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah. Did that open up different scholarship opportunities for you and different schools for you as well?
Kind of. I think, I don't know. I mean, most schools were test optional. Mm-hmm. A couple were test blind that I applied to, which made things like a little bit more difficult. But I think that definitely like helped a lot.
Good. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So great. And then in an upcoming blog post, you talk about your testing experience at GSB and how a lot of it was a mental endurance, which I think a lot of our students don't realize, right? Because it's like, okay, I need to learn all the different content, some new strategies. But I personally think that mental endurance is a huge part of the process. So can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, like when you guys asked me to write about it, I was trying to think, and I was going through all the content, like strategies that we were taught and everything. And I was like, I don't think there was one thing that stood out as being like the most important. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And then I was remembering this thing that we were taught in my psychology class senior year, and self-efficacy, where just like the belief that you are capable of doing something makes it like so much more like achievable, I guess. Attainable. And I don't know. I think that really resonated with me. And I was like, yeah, like that totally applies to ACT and like everything in life. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
So smart. It's so interesting what you can learn in your high school classes that can be relatable to day-to-day life, right? So like this is just a really like tangible thing to apply that to, because it is a long test, right? Like it's a 3.5-hour test. So you reach that break halfway and you still have 2 sections that are 35 minutes each. So by the time you get to that science section, you're tired, like you're mentally exhausted. So yes, just having that mental endurance, and you know the content, you know the strategies, but now it's just a mental game. Right.
Because it's kind of, I mean, tying it back to running, I feel like it's the same thing as like running a 5K. Like,
yeah,
if you've never run a 5K before, you could probably, like, your body is probably capable of it, but like you've never pushed through, you've never like broken the barrier and like the mental barrier, I guess, of like, oh, well, I've done this before, I know I can do it. So then it makes it easier to get to the finish line, because you're like, I know how close the finish line is. I know like that I've done this before. I don't know. And I think just like when you have practice and experience, it makes it easier to not like get so defeated and like exhausted that you like can't go on.
Yeah. Good advice. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we offer the practice test, right? So it's such a good baseline starting point. And then the midterm, okay, here's another test. What have you learned so far? Yeah. How are you including those strategies and implementing those different skills? And then the final, what else do we need to work on? So you've had most students have had 3 tests before they even take an actual ACT. So that is a huge part, and it does increase your confidence too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think just, a lot of times people say practice makes perfect, but here we say perfect practice makes perfect. So just kind of changes the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then another point that you had was just patience, being patient with yourself or the tests or all of the above.
I mean, definitely both. I think there's this like misconception that we need to like, in order to get a good score, perfect score, whatever, we need to get all the questions right. And that's so like far from being true. Like, right. You can miss like, I don't know. I know there was one test where you can miss 11 and still get a 36. And like, I don't know. I mean, there's just, the ACT is meant to be so hard for like everyone. And it can be like so defeating, because on a normal like test in school, you're trying to get all of them right. And you go through and you see a question you don't know and you're like, shoot, like I'm going to miss this question. Yeah. But I mean, multiple choice helps. Like you have a 25% chance of getting it right anyway. And then also like, I don't know, you have to be patient with yourself. Like, it's okay if I don't know this, I'm going to go move on, come back to it. I don't know, not spend too long on anything, not get frustrated or like focus on the wrong things. Yeah. I don't know.
Beautiful. Well, with that 35, you went to Southern Methodist University, SMU.
Yes.
How was your experience there?
It was good. I don't think I would have like chosen it knowing what I know now. I don't know. I think practically like knowing all of the like financial aspects of things, all of the like academic stuff, like it was practically probably the best choice. I don't know. After going and spending a year there, I realized kind of the importance of like actually, I don't know, liking where you're at. Yeah. Which sounds like kind of annoying, I guess. But I don't know. I think that I really kind of ignored the part of me that was like, oh, I love it here. Or like, no, like I don't really like it. I don't know. Just the like more like touchy-feely side of things. Yep. I was very like logical in my decision making. And I was like, this makes the most sense. And so this is where I'm going to go. And I don't know. I think that I had other options that maybe wouldn't have been as like smart, but I think I would have like enjoyed it a little more. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for being truthful about that. Cause that's hard to recognize and realize, before you go. But now that you know that, do you think that's like a really big piece of advice that you would give to high school students, like really following your gut? Definitely. I think that when you when you're able to follow your gut, I think that it very rarely like steers you in the wrong direction. Yeah. I don't know. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Or like just the vibes that you get from people too, right? Like sometimes you don't get good vibes or sometimes you get really good vibes. And that's like an internal thing that you feel and you really can't ignore that. Right. Same with school, same with colleges. Yeah, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And now knowing that, like, are you excited about your second year of college or like what are your feelings now? I am excited. Like, I think that you can make the best out of any situation, even if it's not probably like the best just like school for you, that doesn't mean that you can't still like have fun and have friends. And I don't know. I also just submitted my application to study abroad. So
nice.
Very excited for that.
Yes, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Where to?
Barcelona.
Yes.
Next
my
spring.
Goodness.
So that's something to look forward to. Definitely.
Absolutely. I think that's really good advice too. I think if you have the opportunity to study abroad, take it. Like that's just so cool. So many different experiences, different culture.
Yeah.
Amazing. When do you find out about that?
I'm not sure. Hopefully by the end of the summer, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you took like as many credits as you could your freshman year, right?
Yeah. I took 15 first semester and I took 18 second semester.
Okay. So are you trying to complete everything in 3 years or 3.5 years, or are you just going to go on the 4-year plan?
Well, I realized pretty quickly that I had a lot of credits going in before even like starting. I think I had like maybe 40 or 50. And so
that is a lot.
just from like APs and stuff. And so I realized even if I like didn't take extra credit hours or anything, I would be done in 3 years.
Wow. Which saves a ton of money.
Yeah.
When you're in college. Yes,
it does. And so I kind of based off of that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make the most out of just like the 3 years that I can. And then I don't need to like stay the extra year. So like, I don't know. I don't really want to, I guess.
Right. That's a great mindset. Just make the most of your 3 years and go hard and have fun, get all your studies in. That's awesome. Congratulations to you. Okay. So tell everyone where the hours that we can reach you.
Okay. I am available Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and then Saturdays, 12:30 to 3.
Awesome. Very good. And then will you be doing online tutoring when you go back to school?
Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, that's also, we are just lucky to have you here at Get Smarter Prep. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Hopefully you get your study abroad in Barcelona, and that'll be so exciting for you.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.